lots of things to occupy you during your stay on the site. From about 11 o'clock, the showroom will be operating, I hope, with a number of exhibitors' cars coming round and a brief, maybe slightly odd description by myself. We have the children's fun fair, which is now in operation, and there's the miniature railway rides, which are opposite the main entrance gates on the other side of the layout, up by the tall hedge which is opposite the entrance gate. And of course we've got our supercar rides. We can book them ahead so that you know exactly when your ride will be. There's some exciting cars up there, some of them only offering a very few rides, so go and have a go at them, see what you can book up. They really are extraordinarily good value to go and have a ride in a car which you might not ever have an opportunity to do at any other time. Book up the ride. The cars are loaned for the event, and their owners drive them enthusiastically for your enjoyment, and they donate their time, they donate the fuel, and they donate the wear on the tyres, which is not inconsiderable, to give you a good ride around the roads locally, to Tog Hill and what have you up there. So go and book a ride. All the money comes straight through to our charities, and our charities this year are St Mungo's, who are a homeless assistance charity based in Bath and Bristol, helping those people who are less well off than ourselves, who are temporarily or long-term unhoused and are having to live on the streets. St Mungo's offers some respite and feeding and assistance in many ways, and a very useful job to do to help those people who are in no way able to help themselves. And our other main charity is there to help those people to get themselves in areas where
Sprite.
car's time, driver's time, the car, the petrol, the rubber, it's all donated by the owners. They will then drive you around the course, which then take you down past Safety Park, and up Top Hill, and back along Freezing Hill Lane. Freezing Hill Lane, there's a little course there which we regularly use, and believe you me, the driving can be quite enthusiastic. So you have a lot of fun for your money, big bang for your buck, and it's a very good opportunity to buy. Somebody up above saying, come on, Nelly, you got to come on, Nelly. polished, changed the plugs and the oil, and now it runs like a dream. So this is the little Rover Mini, which is the Mini Cooper. He calls it the RSP, the Rover Special, and it's the single point injection 1275cc engine, front wheel drive of course, 4 gears, disc brakes on the front, a very neat little motor car, and a very classic, typical late series Mini. And we move on to another classic British, in this case a sports coupe, the beautiful E-Type. This is a Series 1.5, they're a bit peculiar in their numbering. It was never officially a number 1.5 for the E-Type, but it became known between the Series 1 and the Series 2. The Series 1 was a little bit lashed together, the Series 1.5 got the job right. And has got the 4.2 engine. This is a 2+2 version. You can tell that because it's got the chrome strips just beside the driver's elbow below the window there, which means it's got the rear passengers in. You certainly wouldn't expect to travel with a grown-up in the back across Europe, but you might manage it with a couple of small children and a little bit of luggage behind. These cars were a complete amazement when they were introduced. The styling was so forward, the engineering was very, very advanced. Got a beautiful 6-cylinder engine in, twin overhead cam, full independent suspension, disc brakes all round, very high specifications, typical of Jaguar. And probably when it was designed, there were people who looked at it and just said it's the most beautiful thing they've ever seen, and that included Enzo Ferrari, who took one look at it and thought it was the most beautiful car he'd ever seen. Here is the Jaguar 2+2 Jaguar E-Type, which is an iconic British sports touring coupe. And the Rover, we have the Rover here. This is the Rover 3.5S, the V8 Rover in the 2000 body shell. The 2000 body shell was introduced by Rover, I think they call it the P4, to absolute amazement. Here was a fuddy-duddy company producing old-fashioned motor cars, and without any warning they launched themselves into the space age. Horizontal springs on it, and the engine of course came from a Buick, an American engine. Buick couldn't make it work. Rover took it on, they redesigned various aspects of it, and it became one of the most prestigious and well-known British engines ever to be produced. Thousands of them went into not only these Rovers and the 3.5 litre coupe, the big saloon coupes, but they also went into Land Rovers, Range Rovers, GVR sports cars, and heaps of single and two-seater sports cars used for competition all around the world. So they took a pretty duff engine which the Americans had given up on, sold to the Brits pretty cheap, and I'm glad to say that Rover turned it into one of the greatest engines that British engineering or British car people have ever produced. So this is the Rover V8, purchased in 1965. It sat around, like many of these classic cars, it sat around unloved in a barn for quite a long time. It didn't take much to get it going again. He's given it a good polish, serviced the engine. Somebody had installed a nice 5-speed gearbox in it from the Rover SB1, and altogether the car has come back together and represents an excellent way into classic car collecting, because they're not over expensive, but the parts are available and they do represent a real watershed for the company. Now we go on to we go on to Japanese micro cars. We have the little Nissan Figaro, a little drop-head coupe made specifically for the for the Japanese market.